Hey Leo, this is your October forecast, and as you can see, I'm not on camera this month, but it's not about me being on camera, it's the message, right? Listen, I'm going to be traveling extensively here, so I'm doing the audio, and I might need to do that for next month too, as I'm trying to work a little bit ahead, and it's just that much more convenient. So bear with me, and I hope that you will still enjoy this video. So listen, we're looking at a beautiful third house, which is fully lit up for you. And that has to do with you, your expression, your communication, also all that which has to do with travel. But this would be more so, I'd like to say, short distance travel, just being really busy to and fro, errands and so forth, maybe in and out of town, short trips, not necessarily the longer trips and so forth, even though that can be true for some of you, Leos, as the full moon this month will be in your ninth house for long distance travel around the time of October 5th. So for some of you, you might be able to go on that vacation, maybe a late vacation or so, but for most part, it's all about in town, being busy, doing errands, and so forth. It's also a time where I feel that your siblings could come to the surface a whole lot more with being, online communication, on the phone, so forth, and hearing news about what's going on in their life. In other words, catching up with them, right? And spending some more time. And I think a lot of you will find that absolutely lovely, right? So the third house is also how we present ourselves, what we communicate, how we communicate it. So let me just say this, Leo. For those of you that might be having a review this month, in the work field, this will be a great time for you to be able to express yourself, to get out exactly what it is you've been harboring, thinking about, and so forth. You will be given the chance to actually bring this forward. And if you are presenting projects, well, let me tell you, people will listen to what you have to say. It's coming across in such a beautiful manner because these planets are transiting through the sign of Libra. And think about Libra. They're always very well balanced, right? They're harmonious. They're ruled by Venus. That means that your Sun, Mercury, New Moon, and Jupiter is inspired, is filtered through Venus. And so of course you're coming across as somebody who's very generous and warm and charming. Okay, charming communication this month. Make that work for you, Leo. And you're all about charm anyway, right? With all that warmth that your Leo energy brings to the table. So I don't think that you've ever had a problem with it, but it's going to be heightened, okay? A heightened sense of it. The Sun and Mercury will communicate. It is in the house of communication. The new moon there, which will be October 19th, 26 degrees there in Libra, will also bring new beginnings. And of course, the new moon is all about planting the seeds, right, of intention, what it is you want to really transpire from this new moon. And so your intention should be all about, I want to communicate like this the rest of the year, into next year. It's going to be a full year before the new moon comes back around to this area. So if you can really be conscious of how you're relating and how you're coming across, feeling that extra beautiful, energetic feeling, well, you can, in fact, program yourself to bring that forward, right? And that's what these new moons are all about. And even more and better yet, here, Leo, is that this new moon is conjuncting Jupiter, so it's bringing something of a gift, okay? There's generosity. There's always abundance wherever Jupiter is found, right? So we have hope. We have expectations. We got excitement. There is just this feeling of something coming to the forefront, and you might just find yourself also starting a new chapter here with either somebody close in your neighborhood, your community. If you're doing any kind of community volunteering, should I say, this would be a great time, an awesome time to do a charity or that kind of thing, because that new moon is full of charity given energy by Jupiter, right? This is you and the generosity that your heart is going to be overflowing with, and also vice versa. Somebody could come to become very generous with you too. So we're just loving this beautiful new moon, October 19th, 26 degrees in Libra. And for those of you, Leo, who have any planets around your chart at 26 degrees, you will also be feeling this. within that area of your chart, which of course I can't see here, your individual chart, that is. Now let's move on to Venus. Venus is running 13 degrees as we start off the month. Mars 16 degrees, both of them in your second house for money and income. So this is a month where you can really see, and I think you already felt that there in September, all right? September might have opened up a door, and that could have been a consequence of the eclipses there in August. So September, I feel, for a lot of you, especially that second half of September, probably started looking at your income, getting all your ducks in a row. Where is the money going, you know? And also I can see how you've been feeling more of a need to spend money. That's what Venus loves to do when it's here, and you have it as we start off the month as well. Just the sense and the feeling that it's nice to go out and shop a little bit. Mars is there, very pinpointed and directed. The beauty, though, is the beautiful golden trine that both Venus and Mars has to Pluto as we start off October, all right? So think about Venus being love and romance and passion and the things that we desire. And talk about desire. Mars also is full of desire, full of action, taking the lead on. And you're so empowered with the force of Pluto coming in this way. So between the 1st and the 3rd, you will see it. You will actually take action, maybe actions that you've been contemplating for quite a while, maybe didn't do, but you know, when divine timing is right, we kick into action. So your action is all about either going out purchasing something large that can help you, large or expensive, but something that can help you in your day-to-day routine, because that's where Pluto is. You know, so it could be something maybe for your home, an appliance that can make life a little easier, for example, some upgrading and so forth. But also I'm feeling that you and your partner can do something together this month, and feel that this is something that you could, you know, pull off in a great way. Saturn is moving forward, see, and Saturn wants to commit. Saturn really grounds us and gives us the ability to shoot those arrows towards new horizons. And Saturn in your 5th house is here, feeling pretty strong and solid. So, but also perhaps even it could be you and your siblings wanting to get together and do something here and spend some money and whatnot. So a great time, really, really exciting. That full moon, I did mention that one though, on October 5th, long distance travel, right? Your new moon on the 19th, which is all about communication. So if we're looking at what is important, the first week this month is extremely important to take action, to enjoy yourself, to go out and do those things, because you're so empowered, Leo. And of course you come from a place with all this joy, this integrity, this sense of pride that you have, right? Beauty and so forth. This is the time to go do so. Now on the second week, see, then you're going to be busy differently. You might not have time to go out and splurge in the same way, because now you're going to have to prove yourself or stand your grounds. I feel that this has a lot to do with the communication aspects that we were saying. Both Venus, Mercury, and the Sun and Mars, they will come up towards a little bit of a challenge, both to Saturn and to Pluto. So for that, it's more like, okay, did you splurge too much? Is that what the issue is going to be? You know, are we going to have those talks? Or it could also be, since Saturn is involved, it could even be one of your children. Maybe they have been wanting to splurge too much or wanting to use your credit card, that kind of thing. So limitations, setting some boundaries. This is pretty much so on the 8th and the 11th for you when it comes to other people spending your money, which could be the children, right? And then on the 9th, it's more you having the talk about it. And your communication seems to be very clear on how it works and how this will work as we move forward. So listen, it's all about empowering as we go along, right? There's time for everything. A time to move forward, time to step back, a time to set boundaries. This is a boundary time. Those days, especially, they're between the 8th, and I'd bring it all the way up to the 15th, but by the 11th, you should be pretty much, good to go. Now, whatever new agreements that are coming to the table this month, and I feel it's something that you've been working towards. I feel if you're going to start anything or have any discussions or negotiations, the 16th is what you really want to pinpoint, Leo, because then I can see how you're really living up to those things that are important to you. You're really coming across as somebody in the know, all right? You're really taking on some leadership, should I say, direction on the 16th. Loving that. And on the 19th, this might just be you feeling that there is a situation where you're going to be a little torn, maybe, and it has to do whether to go do something. This is the sun in the third house, right? Maybe some errand, but then again, there might be something else calling you that you need to study, perhaps, or you need to spend some time here doing some research. So you might feel like this is a day that's a little busy, where you're kind of feeling like you're pulled all over the place, right? All over the map. But it's doable. Just wanting to give you a little heads up on that. Don't crowd the 19th on your calendar, because you might just run yourself a little thin. Now on the 24th, listen, oh my God, what a day. This is where you're going to feel super inspired, Leo. And of course, nothing feels better, because that's when we're in the flow, where things just come together beautifully. I feel your communication is all about sharing from the heart chakra. It's a very spiritual aspect coming in as well. And for those of you who like to write poetry, or just in your journal, whatever that might be, you might just see that beauty works of art might be coming out of you here on this day. And then on the 26th, it's the annual visit between the Sun and Jupiter. And it only happens one day a year. And this is when we really feel the blessings, the kiss from Jupiter coming to us directly, right? And for you, this will be in your third house. This is where all your action is this month, is between your finances and communication and short distance travel, your siblings there, and then, of course, whatever was being challenged. But you got two main windows of focus this month. And so, yes, the kiss from Jupiter will come to you. And I feel it's something that could be verbally expressed. Of course, it could be a tangible thing as well. It could be you making an agreement with yourself or with somebody else. But whatever that agreement is, I feel it's really set in stone. It feels very optimistic, quite enthusiastic with how to proceed from here on. Jupiter, of course, moving direct is a good thing under one of these aspects. The conjunction is always very energizing, and it really brings your hopes, your dreams up to the surface. What I'm also liking to see here is that the new moon there on October 19th had just passed the degree there of this Sun-Jupiter aspect too. So it's already energized, initiated, should I say, that new moon energy. So it should really be good. And whatever you agree upon here on this date will start really carrying and bearing fruits within a month. Okay, so you should see that here sometime there in November. So we get a little bit of compromise as we're coming towards the end of the month. And this is between your Venus and then Pluto. And this compromise, it might be your value system. It's what you are convinced of. Your conviction is going to be put to the test. And so it could be a little defensiveness going on whenever Venus and Pluto are square. And Pluto being in your sixth house for your day-to-day routine and or also work, co-workers, and so forth. We're not necessarily saying your career, but who you work with. So there could be some kind of an encounter taking place. Sometimes we even see that there's little power games, power play, and so forth. But as long as you stand your grounds, you're speaking your truth. Venus is in Libra, right? And it rules Libra. It's in your third house for communication, which means that you should have the upper hand in this discussion or situation that will come about. So just, be true to yourself. That's all I can say. And then a compromise will be worked out. So, Leo, this is what I have for you here in October, and I wish you a beautiful month. May you work it the best you can. Remember, your focus is on money, siblings, short distance travel, errands, and so forth. So, listen, I'll see you next month in November. So, till then, have a great one. Bye now.